Welcome to Chronicles of Old Singapore. This is Dr Loh KS, and I speak to people about Singapore before it became a global city today. And to tell us about how the northern part of Singapore today has changed so much since the 50s and 60s is a good friend of mine, Asokan Raghavan.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you.
Hi, Asokan, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
As you said, you are on leave today, right?
Yes, exactly. I'm on leave today.
How often are you on leave?
If I have to claim my last year's vacation leave, so today, tomorrow, and Sunday, I'll be on leave.
It's a
3
good
days
long
after that.
weekend, right?
Yes.
Asokan and I, we are going to talk about the northern part of Singapore, as I said. A few episodes ago, we had an interview with Joel Chandran, who lived at Jalan Sembawang, Kecil. And that's a place you're quite familiar with as well, Asokan?
Yes. I used to go there. I studied in Naval Base School for some time. Naval Base Secondary School.
Right. But you wouldn't know Joel Chandran, would you?
Maybe Chandran. Maybe I'm not so sure. I must see him. I could recognize him.
That's right. Yeah.
Chandran. Maybe it could be known by some other names possible in the school days, in the younger days.
Correct. So maybe just as a short introduction to what we'll be covering today, most of us who know the northern part of Singapore know the naval base, and that is the main military installation up till the later part of the 1960s when the British pulled out. But of course, if you go, even today, if you go around that area, Sembawang Road, Sembawang, part of Nee Soon, you'll find a lot of military camps in that area, both the air base, Sembawang Air Base, as well as the army camps, various army camps and depots. There's today Diet Barracks, which was the HQ of one of my.
At Transit Road, there used to be a British camp there.
That's the Nee Soon camp, right?
Nee Soon camp, yes.
I think many younger Singaporeans know that as ITD, the BMT camp.
Yes.
And of course, before that, all these were British camps. Right?
Yes.
So the necessity for these camps is actually all to support the naval base and to protect it, because the naval base was meant to protect Singapore, which it did quite a poor job during the Second World War. Yes. But it needed protection itself, its fleet from the invaders and attackers from the air as well as the land. So that's why there is Sembawang Air Base nearby, and a bit further away there is Seletar, there is Tengah, and even further away Changi Air Base as well.
The one in Alexandra also, I think. Alexandra also. Those are they called BOD, British Ordnance Depot.
Right.
There's one in Nee Soon, the one in Alexandra.
Right. The Alexandra one would be the major one, isn't it?
Yes.
And then there are the army camps, the armed forces that protected the naval base. And that's why we had, Nee Soon camps and all the barracks to the south of the naval base. And so what we're going to do today is to tap onto Asokan's deep memory to find out about the locals, the Singaporeans whose lives revolve around that area, that part of Singapore. And very much Asokan's childhood, youth, and adulthood even. Was very much shaped by growing up in that area. Asokan, I would also say, is a historian. I first met him when I was doing the research project on the Sree Narayana Mission, and he's the de facto historian of the mission, right? The first time, I don't know if you remember, Asokan, I went to your house. We are kind of neighbors in Woodlands. And I went to his house to interview him. He gave me one stack of notes.
Yes.
A few months later, I went back again because I had some more questions to ask him. He gave me a second stack of notes. So Asokan is very much a historian as well as an archivist, and research on the Sree Narayana Mission would not have been possible without his memories and his records. So we are in for a treat today on the memory of Sembawang and Nee Soon. All right. So Asokan, welcome to the show again. Tell us about your early days at Nee Soon.
I think I was living in Nee Soon since the age of 2 or 3. Those days, it's it's not cities now. There are a lot of forest behind my house. There's a stream. The stream is still there. But now it's a canal, and we were living in a block of attap house. We call it this block 42D. 42. The first house is 42A, 42B, 42C, 42D. Remember the fourth house. The attap small house, and behind the house is a jungle. And those days we even used to breed chicken. We used to have a small chicken farm behind my house. There's a stream there, and I studied in Nee Soon School. Every day I can walk from my house to Nee Soon School, and it's about 10 minutes walk. I was there from primary 1 to primary 6. Those days we don't have any street lights and all this. It was very dark. The street lights only come after 1965. And there were Indians there, but most of them are Chinese, and a lot of all the shops there are owned by Chinese. There used to be a theater, Nee Soon Theater, in Nee Soon, and they show Chinese, English, and Malay and Tamil films,
So
I remember
just to kind of clarify, so this was Transit Road, right? The place is called.
This is Nee Soon, about 1 kilometer away, from my house. Transit Road. Also, Transit Road is in there's the main road, the Nee Soon Road. Then there's a Transit Road, so small lane. It belongs to the BOD in the British Ordnance Depot. I think they support the British forces in Singapore, or with ordnance and so on and so forth. My father was working there, since the since 1950s, and in fact, I have a photo of this. Most of the staff there were Asian staff, but the officers were all British.
All right, this is the photo, right?
Yes, this photo. This photo was taken in 1967. And my father is there. You can see, I think on the second row towards the 10th man. I think you can see him there. He's standing there.
Third from the left.
This is my father. I show you. No, this here. Yeah. Can you hear me? This man.
Second row. Is it?
Wait. Can you see this, sir? Sir, this is my father.
We can't see your screen. We can only see my screen. So which one is it? You tell me.
Okay. Second row.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 10th man from the left.
Here, around here?
No. Up a bit. That's my father. No, that's my father.
That one? Okay. A bit bald, right? He looks a bit bald.
Yes.
What's his name?
His name is Ragavan.
Right. What did he do at the depot?
He was a storekeeper in the BOD. Those days, my father's salary was quite I think was earning about $400 per month. I mean, pay those days are very small. Even my house, the rent is about $40 per month.
Right. So these are the staff of the BOD.
Yes, BOD.
Transit Road.
Transit Road.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So there are some British officers, right?
Yes. These are all senior officers. Yes.
And the others are all civilian, though.
Civilians, yes, all civilians.
Okay. Your father was civilian. Was he civilian?
Yeah, he was civilian. He was a storekeeper.
Okay. Do you know when or how he came to Singapore?
Oh, he came to Singapore before the Japanese occupation. No, I think during the Japanese occupation, he went back to India. When the Japanese left, he came back to Singapore again in 1949, I think. And all the way he was in Singapore, he never went back. All the way he was working in the BOD.
Right. Okay. So therefore, your house at 42D was a stone's throw from
Yes.
his
From
office.
Yes.
But this is a attap house, It's not a
Yeah,
barracks.
attap house. Yeah, attap houses.
The BOD didn't give housing for your family.
No, they have,
Hmm.
in the camp they have accommodation for staff, but my father preferred to stay outside. They used to have accommodation just like naval base. The staff of BOD they have residential quarters for the staff in the camp in Transit Road.
Right. Maybe he thought that it's better
Yeah.
to have your own place
Yes,
outside.
yes, that's right.
Okay. Those quarters are gone, I guess. Are they still around?
Yeah, they are quarters. Yeah, they are relatively good quarters. All in not attap or in brick flats. Small flat. All
Are they still
on the
around,
line.
or are they part
No,
of?
no more.
Okay.
There are no more there. Outside the camp, there's a row of shops. Catering for the mainly for the British officers to come for shopping.
Right. And of course, your attap house is gone, right?
Yeah, it was gone long ago. Now I think it's come under spring leaf. Spring leaf around that area.
Now it's spring leaf, right?
Yes,
Now when we talk about spring leaf, people think about the food. That's all, right?
Now it's beyond recognition. No, not.
Tell us, so if we go online, I think some gentleman has written about the shops along Transit Road, right?
Yes,
So there were a lot of shops, especially shops that catered to the British
Yes.
servicemen. Could you describe
yes.
those shops?
The shops are mainly they're owned by most of the big shops are owned by Sindhis. They are North Indians. And they sell a lot of goods, not provisions. Other things like clothing, electrical items, and so on and so forth. Mainly to meet the needs of the British staff, and they also used to sell liquor, expensive liquor and whiskey and brandy and so on and forth. And also there's a few bars,
I was going to ask you about the bars. Where are the bars?
Yes, yeah. Just opposite Transit Road, the main road. There
Right.
are a number of bars, you can see a lot of this British people used to go there at night, and a lot of women there, in the bar.
Do you remember the names of the bars?
I can't remember the names now. There are at least about 4, 5 bars,
4 or 5, yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah.
So
They're only active at night.
at night, it was quite lively.
Yeah. You see a lot of women standing outside the bar, and as anybody walk by, hey, come in. They will invite the people into the bar.
Were there
I still remember all those
restaurants as well?
I remember restaurants as well. Yes. And there was also, I think there were 2 private clinics. One is on Dr. Ramasamy and one is Dr. Tan. They were the 2 private, GPs who are practicing there. One is the Dr. Tan and one Dr. Ramasamy. We call him Dr. Ramu.
Oh. And who would usually go there? This would be locals, or this would be the British have their own hospital, I guess.
Yeah, they have their own. Normally the locals, normally I used to go to Ramu's clinic whenever I'm not well. The nearest OPD, outpatient clinic, was in Sembawang. We have to see the OPD. We have to go down all the way to Sembawang to see the doctor there. That's the government clinic. In Nee Soon, we don't have any OPDs.
Right. You mentioned earlier, before I interrupted you, there was a cinema, right, in Nee Soon.
Yes.
Where
Nee
is
Soon
that?
Theatre, yes. That was quite near to the main road. You have to go in a bit. It's quite a small theatre, not that big. And every day there's a movie there. It's just beside Nee Soon Road. You have to, just beside. There was a theatre. And the theatre is a very old theatre, And those days, not like now, used to have the reels every time, and we see old movie, actually it will break down in between, and they have to adjust it. And I still remember going one of some of the movies I still remember on the longest day. I remember one of the movies after it was The Longest Day. John Wayne. I
Right.
also
Yeah.
remember seeing My Fair Lady. These are some of the English movie I have to see. My Fair Lady, The Longest Day, and so forth. Some of the movies I still remember seeing in Eastern Theatre.
Could you say something about your house, 42D?
It was at that house with wooden planks, and uh, there's no privacy because if you talk loudly, that your neighbor can hear what you are saying. Even those walls are made from planks.
Mm.
So there are holes in between. If you want, you can peep into your neighbor. There are holes there. Uh, so with not much privacy there, and the toilets all are the bucket system. Every once or twice a day, what the men used to come clear those buckets.
The night soil collector.
Yeah, that's all. Yes, yes. And I still remember every during the man is Chinese. So every Chinese New Year, he used to come and see us. We all used to give him about $10. When those are $10 quite a big sum. Every house we used to give because he's doing this job for us. Every house we make sure we give him some ang pao
Right.
for the work he's doing.
Do you know your neighbors?
My neighbors all like Indians, all, that particular road all like Indians. Most of them are not around. Except one of them I know is still around. Others all they left. I I only have contact with one of them, my immediate neighbors.
Right. Were they also their families employees of the British
No,
forces?
no. Some were working in naval base, so they should go down to naval base. During the early days, before my father come to start working in BOD in Transit Road, he was at BOD in Alexandra. So every morning they used to supply transport. So at 7 o'clock, the transport will be there. They pick all the stuff and take them to Alexandra Road. And the people who are living in naval base, they have to go by bus. Uh, they go to work by bus.
What? Your father was working at Alexandra?
Yes, yes.
But living in Transit Road?
No, in Nee Soon.
In Nee Soon.
Yeah, Transit Road nearby.
Yeah. So he had to he would travel all the way. So
yeah.
Before your father was employed at Nee Soon, so how come he was staying at Nee Soon in the first place?
See, before actually he was not employed. There was a BOD in Alexandra and BOD in Transit Road. So he since we are living in Nee Soon, he managed to get a transfer. He was working in Alexandra Road for many years. So he managed to get a transfer from Alexandra Road to Transit Road. But all the while we were living in Nee Soon. Nee Soon is quite just walking distance, from my house to Transit Road BOD.
Right. So why was he living in Nee Soon?
I don't know. Maybe the rent for the house is low. There was one possibility. Or my father was not earning a good salary, so the rent. I remember the rent per month is only $40. That could be one of the factors. And secondly, maybe he thought every day traveling to BOD and this is quite hassle, so it's better to transfer to Nee Soon Road. He didn't. He asked for a transfer from Alexandra Road to Transit Road.
Did he previously work at the naval base?
No.
He didn't.
There are two different departments. Naval base is more for the Navy, in naval base. BOD is more for for ordnance and the suppliers to all this, the backup service.
That's right. Yeah. How many people were there in your family?
There's 7 of us. The big family. I'm the eldest, and I have 3 brothers and 3 sisters younger than me.
I have met one of your brothers.
Yes, Mohan Adas. Yes.
And your sister?
Ambika. Yeah, she's now in Australia now. Yeah.
Right. So going back to your neighbors, your mother. Did she work?
No, she was a housewife.
Yeah, your mother was a remarkable woman, right? She was with the mission.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
What was her name?
Her name is Sarada Devi. Sarada.
Tell us about what she did in the mission.
Oh, in the early days, they had the Sree Narayana Mission. It started in 1948. Those days, it was a very small organization with a small attap house, So, since early days, they had some thought that following the teaching of Narayana Guru, it should be a welfare organization. She should meet the need of the local community. So essentially, they start off. First project was having a building of their own. So during the 1950s, 1954, 55, 57, 59, my mother used to conduct cultural performances, to raise, but those are there were a lot of Malayalis in the area, in Sembawang and Naval base, so many of them. They are quite interested in all this kind of Malayalam cultural activities. So they used to mostly they have it in open field. They used to buy a ticket. Ticket costs about $2 per person, and to raise money, whatever the fund goes on to building the Sree Narayana Mission building. So they had a building was completed in 1956. It started in 4 years. Started from 1952 to 1956. She was quite active in raising funds for the Sree Narayana Mission.
And I understand that it was quite rare originally for women to perform in this place.
Exactly. Yeah. Those days they used to have a lot of dramas. Most of the ladies they won't participate as I think maybe they're shy. So my mother was one of the first women who participated in a drama as a woman. Previously, they have men and masquerading themselves as women and playing roles of a woman. So in 1960, my mother and three other ladies participated in a drama to raise fund for the Sree Narayana Mission, and all of them were the first woman in Singapore to participate in a Malayalam drama.
Do you remember some of these roles she played?
I think she played the role of a doctor, if I'm not mistaken. The drama is concerning something to do with some marriage and some doctor and a police officer's family or something like that. But I remember she playing the role of a doctor.
These were contemporary dramas, right? About what was things that were happening at the time, right?
Yes.
And this was in Malayalam or English?
It was in Malayalam.
Who wrote this place? You know?
It was written by authors from Kerala. I can't remember his name, but he's not a local name, but it's very befitting the local situation. I can't remember his name. His name is Basi, I think. I think it's Topil Basi, I think. Bhasi. I think he's no more alive. Died long ago.
Oh, okay. So these plays were they original plays or were they adapted from Kerala?
They were adapted from Kerala.
Your mother was also part of this drama troupe that also went to Malaysia, wasn't it?
Yes. She didn't go to Malaysia, but all the while, since 1950, during 1952, she passed away in 1981. She was very active in Malayalam as well. Some other, there's one storytelling. We call it Kada Prasangam. People narrate a story and they sing. It's a story, but it will be presented in the form of songs and storytelling. That is very popular in those days. She mainly focused on that. Many of these Kada Prasangams held during from the 1950s to last one she had was in 1978 at the Sree Narayana Mission. At least I remember at least more than 10 Kada Prasangams she performed to raise fund mainly for the Sree Narayana Mission. And there also a few dramas. Another 10 dramas. She also acted.
There are so many, right? She was so active. Did she have formal training in acting?
Yes. She don't have training in acting, but she was even when she came from India in Kerala, and she had training. She used to perform even she was a small girl in Kerala. She used to perform this Kada Prasangam and singing and all this. She also can play this harmonium. That's I don't know what I call that with the finger harmonium. Yeah, those days.
Right. Could you tell us something about? I mean, so we talked about Malayalam, we talked about the storytelling. So these are the culture of the Malayali
Yes, yes.
community. Could you
Exactly,
say
yeah,
something
exactly.
about the Malayali community in Nee Soon in Sembawang?
In fact, in naval base, there are a lot of Malayalis, Malayalis celebrate Onam, so our New Year is known as Onam. Onam day, everybody will be taking leave, so it's, I think half the strength of this naval base will be on, not on duty. In naval base, also, they're very, very active. They have three theaters, one I know is Sultan Theatre, one is Naval Base Theatre, and one is Canberra Theatre. There are three theatres inside. And Sultan Theatre is outside Naval Base, Canberra and Naval Base were inside Naval Base. So as it is, they used to have English. In Sultan Theatre, mainly they focus on Tamil movies. I think it was at Chong Kian Road or Chong. I think it was Kian Road. I think. Yeah, yeah. And same with the Naval Base Theatre and Canberra Theatre inside Naval Base. They used to have uh, English, Tamil, Malayalam movies and all that so forth.
And was it also true that in the Nee Soon area, the BOD, the transit road camp, the Malayalis were also a very big population?
Yes, we do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They used to have a few shops, around Malayali people, Malayali shopkeepers, all are located in Nee Soon Road. And there were quite a number of them. In fact, you see, many of them in the Indian faces are actually Malayalis, And in fact, those days, during my father's days, when they first come to Singapore, they prefer to work under the British departments, BOD and Naval Base and all this, So that's how my father got a job in the BOD.
Was your father a British subject or a? Do you know
No.
if he?
He was a British subject, but I think he became a Singapore citizen later. Even in my birth certificate, it's shown as British subject. I still have that birth certificate.
When the British left, right in the late 60s,
yes.
was your father still working or was he affected?
No, he was affected. I think towards the end of 1971, all of them were told, we are leaving, you all won't be having a job. So I think my father got some money for his long service with the British, and I think I think Transit Road they closed down in 1971. I think the British left maybe after the Singapore Armed Forces took over from them. I think maybe 72, 70 during that time they took over. But I think the retrenchment was happened during the December 1971. I remember all the staff were told, "Oh, there's no more job."
Right. Your father received a golden handshake.
Yes,
Right.
correct. Yeah.
Right. How did he feel about the British pullout?
Oh, of course. I mean, the problem after working with the British so long, they give him alternative job, but somebody he feel that he's already in his mid-50s. He feel that now it's enough. I rather not take up a second job. So he didn't take up a second job.
Did he receive that offer? Because as you said, British subject to go to London.
Yeah, there was. There was an offer, and many of them took up the offer, But my father didn't take up because the seven of us in Singapore, all of us were studying here, So it would be a big change for him, So my father never took up the offer before to stay in Singapore. But many of them got the offer, they left for London, especially during the period 1972, 73. Many of them left. They were from Naval Base as well as from the BOD.
Right. At the time, how old were you?
I was doing my national service, in 1976. I did my national service in 1970. 1969, 68, I was still in school. So
you were about
yes. So I just enrolled myself.
18, about 18 at the time.
I went for national service at the age of 18. Yes.
Do you remember, when the British began to pull out and Malayalis, some of them went away, either to UK or some of them returned to India, right?
India, yeah. Many of them left to India, so yes.
Do you remember that the area began to change?
Say again?
The area, the Nee Soon area, the Transit Road area began to change.
Oh, of course, yeah, yeah. Firstly, I think there are a lot of improvement. All those bars and all this disappear, during the late 70s. All those, once the British left, I still remember all those gully bars, and there were no more there, and a lot of development. I remember there was a rubber factory there. The factory disappeared. Nee Soon Theatre was there until, I think, until mid 1970s. A lot of changes, and the whole area was they have a community center. I remember in Nee Soon, the community center was opened in 1965, and those days I used to go there. National Library, they used to come, bring in a van, they used to bring books to the library, to the Nee Soon Community Center, for us to borrow. So every Wednesday we used to go borrow books from the library. Not in this line, the library is a van, and with all the books there, and we used to return.
Where was the community center?
This is along Nee Soon Road.
Along Nee Soon Road, which
Yes,
way
yes.
towards the Sembawang Air Base?
No, it's the other way. It's good towards Thompson Road.
Towards Thompson Road.
Nearby. Yeah.
Okay.
This was, so it's just walking distance from my house. I still remember I attended the opening of the community center. I think it was opened by MP. I think it's one Ong. I can't remember my MP at that time. So we used to go, and they used to have a lot of activities there. They used to have all this jogate dancing and all this. I still remember seeing some of this. And there was a I mainly go there to borrow books from the library.
Okay. Did you do your national service at Nee Soon?
Yes, I was there.
You were there. Okay.
I went in July 1970. I was living in Nee Soon. I was there. My ROD was in 1972. All the while I was there in Nee Soon. Only in 1975, we got another house in Clemency Avenue. We shifted over there. Otherwise, all the while we were in Nee Soon.
Well, your camp is just walking distance.
Yeah. When I was at Safti, it was a very, very long distance from Nee Soon to Safti. During my
after the BMT, you mean?
After the BMT, yes. After the BMT, I joined the Port of Singapore Authority. I was there for the next 30 years.
Right. Yeah, I've also talked to you about that, and also there were many Malayalis there as well. Right?
Yes. True. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. A lot of them, especially all of them are storekeepers. During the I'm talking about the PSA. During the early 1950s, many people from India, came down. They took up a job as clerks and storekeepers and all this, And even in those days in the PSA, you see the unions, even the cooperative societies, you can find many of them, in the management committee of these cooperatives and unions. That was during the 1950s,
That's right. I mean, Malayalis, although a very small population, were very much a big part of the professional life and the political life of Singapore.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. They were more. They're quite good. They're quite good at writing and writing skills, and most of them who came from, they had some education. They can read and write English quite well. That's why they managed to get jobs in the PSA, and even this under the British. That could be a factor.
You attended Naval Base School. Right?
Yes.
Tell us about this school.
I was at 65, 66. It's a primary school and secondary school. It's a 3-story building. They have the primary school and secondary school. Normally, for secondary school, Sec 3 and Sec 4 are in the morning session. Sec 1 and Sec 2 are in the evening session. Evening session means we from 1 to 6. Our morning is from 7:30 to 1 or something like that. No, that's the timing. So Sec 1, Sec 2 we were in the afternoon session, and I remember my principal at that time was Mr. Moss Burgeon. I think after he became very famous in
Moss Burgeon, the hockey person.
Yes, Moss Burgeon. He was a principal at Naval School at that time. Yeah.
Oh, really? He later went to Swiss Cottage, I think.
Yeah, he went to Swiss Cottage. Yes. He was a principal for Naval Base for some time, When I was there, he was the principal, and I got some famous. My particular core, the very good sportsman, Kwok Kim Song was my classmate. M Kumar was my classmate. Even PN Sivaji, the football coach. All were yes, all were in my thought. Some of us were in the same class. Those days most of them are very good sports. Not only they're good at studies, but also they're good at sports. They play hockey, they play football, or most of them they are long distance runners. I still remember them.
Correct. Yeah, the famous football
Yes.
players, right? The Kwa
Yes,
brothers.
Kwok brothers. Yes.
Sivaji, who later became coach of Singapore.
Coach, yes, he was my batch in 1968 cohort.
Yeah. I mean, I did a research project on the naval base and the British bases, and I got to interview. There was, like, at the time, a pub that the Kwa brothers used to run in Sembawang.
Yeah. They saw all these people. Even Kwok Kim Song, he used to be a long distance runner. He also played hockey. Football. Early days, he was also a hockey player. Same with M Kumar. Same with Sivaji. They used to play hockey, football, running. These are their main fortes. Eventually, they specialized in football.
The studying in Singapore in the British days was very different, right? It's not so much about exams and you have time for sports.
Those days, I remember we studied 3 languages. One is English good. Second is we also studied national language, Malay. And my second, our mother tongue is our Tamil. So we did. I remember studying 3 languages.
Malayali was not the mother tongue, right?
No.
Sure. I mean Malayalam. Sorry.
No. Malayalam was never the mother tongue.
So how do you keep in touch with Malayalam? Do people? It's quite hard, right?
Yes, actually, in the early in Nee Soon, during the early days, during the 50s and all this, there are a lot of Malayalis there. They used to have Malayalam classes there. Like people like us, I went after school in the evening. I think it was 3 days a week. At least you go and study Malayalam for about 2 hours in the evening. So I still can read some Malayalam. I still have not forgotten what I studied. When I was 7 to 9 years old. I remember going 2 years to these places to study Malayalam. But those were a lot of Malayalis, and there were branches of this school under the Singapore Malayalee Association. There are branches all over Singapore. There's one in Nee Soon. I think there's one in Sembawang also, and other part the one in Tanjong Pagar, also in Serangoon Road, and so on and so forth.